Ramalho of the Sunshine.
Nice. Oh, it's nice to see. I'm glad to meet you. It's such an honor. Thank you.
And if you need any help, my wife and myself, we're there.
Thank you. That is such a generous offer. I'm really touched.
So this week, your campaign put out a statement criticizing Scott Brown for his support of the Blunt Amendment and his opposition to the Paycheck Fairness Act. So this morning, I asked him about that. And he said, I just want to read you a quote. He said that for her to try to relitigate something that, quite frankly, everyone has moved on from, people are focused on debt, deficit taxes, spending jobs, national security, energy. So why is this something that voters should be concerned with right now?
So, this is how Scott Brown voted. He went out and represented the people of Massachusetts and voted against equal pay for equal work and co-sponsored a law to block access to insurance coverage for birth control. He doesn't get to walk away from that. That's how he represented the people of Massachusetts. And look, he can try to change the subject all he wants, but this is his record, and voters of Massachusetts want to see his record and want to talk about his record.
You've also been highlighting his abortion record this week. He's been endorsed in the past by pro-life groups. He says he's pro-choice. He doesn't oppose federal funding for abortions. Do you think he's being truthful about his record on abortion? Do you think that it seems like you're trying to make the case that maybe he's not as pro-choice as he claims he is.
All I know are the facts. And the facts are that he received support from pro-life groups the last time he ran, that he co-sponsored a bill that pro-life groups said was very important to them, and now he says he's pro-choice.
That bill, is that the blunt bill that you're talking about?
Yes. And I think the way we have to look at this is that he can say a lot of things, but when they need a senator, they can count on all the time.
You hear him say on the trail, he talks about how he's the second most bipartisan senator. He says this over and over again. If you're elected to the Senate, where do you think you'll end up on one of those rankings? How bipartisan will you be?
I'm going to put it this way. The reason I'm in this race is because working families have been getting the short end of the stick for decades now, and that's got to stop. The reason I'm in this race is because Washington is rigged to work for those who can hire an army of lobbyists, and that's got to stop. Scott Brown is part of that problem, and what the people of Massachusetts can count on is when it comes to working families, I'll be there for them all the time. When it comes to holding Wall Street accountable, I'll be there all the time.
Are there any Republicans in the Senate that you respect, that you admire, that you could see yourself agreeing with on certain things?
I want to put it this way. I will work with anybody. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, Vegetarian, if they'll work for America's hardworking families. Please, go ahead, Mr. Mayor. Jump in here.
To address the point of bipartisanship and independence, because I myself am an independent, and this notion that you can just pick a few Democrat ideas, the talking point I think is, I don't care if it's a Democrat idea or a Republican idea, just that it's a good idea. That you can just pick a few of each and that makes you somehow independent is ridiculous. Massachusetts has always deserved a senator that comes up with their own ideas. It doesn't wait for whether the Republican Party or the Democratic Party come with an idea to them so that they can then vote up or down on it. But we've come with senators that actually have their own ideas. And I think that's the big distinction between Ms. Warren and Mr. Brown. When you look at a commercial driving Mr. Brown driving a truck and saying absolutely nothing throughout the entire commercial, you wonder what he's been doing with the last 2.5 years. And the main question that comes to you is, where is he going? Where does he want to go? And how is he going to get there? It's very clear from the campaign that Ms. Warren's been running that she has an idea of where she wants to go, and she has a very clear idea of how we're going to get there. And